Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So we go to options, display. You got it on full screen mode, 16 by 10, 1200 native. We have the resolution modifier just at 100%. That is their kind of their FSR solution or upscaling solution. 144 native, field of view 100%. FPS limit is off, HDR is on. It says it's got FreeSync 2 HDR. I have no clue what that means. Maybe that's what's caused the. Yeah, that's supposed to be. Maybe that's what caused it. Maybe that's turned off for some reason. I do have it at adaptive quality at 45 FPS. We have shadows medium, environmental details medium, texture quality details high, terrain high, clutter medium, fog low, water medium, screen space reflections are medium, biometric clouds are medium, texture details, character medium, ambient occlusion is medium, depth of field is low. Now, these are all in an effort to get to PlayStation, Xbox Series X quality presentation on the go, and I feel like we did accomplish that pretty well. So show y'all what that looks like here really quickly. That sun is pretty bright on your screen, but it's not on mine. So we're sitting at around 40 FPS. Again, we have the adaptive quality on. If you get into close-up visuals, you can see that we have some pretty decent shadows going on. We got some pretty good terrain here. Try to get up close to her details on her armor, her clothing. Pretty good overall. So for me, this is 100% playable. It's going to give you a great time, but it's also going to have that visual quality that we look for when it comes to gaming. And I feel like this is a great like middle ground. Again, around that 40, 45, when we get closer to individuals, you might see a little bit of a difference, but you ain't gonna feel it unless you're checking for it. Honestly, this will be a great way to play this game at this quality level. And kind of, like I said, these bigger cities, you're probably going to see a difference, but maybe feel a difference. I wouldn't say feel it. You probably wouldn't. You wouldn't notice unless you were actually watching the frame monitor. But these are the settings that I chose to go with because I wanted like I said, a visual presentation of what you would get on the PlayStation or an Xbox Series X. But I also wanted to provide the like some performance gains that would allow you to feel comfortable with the combat in this game. In order for you to get to a locked 60, you would just have to lower the resolution. That's it. So just lower your resolution. You can definitely still get to a 45 locked as well if you wanted to. And that to get to that, let me go here. Am I hitting the wrong button? Oh, there we go. Main menu. You can change that resolution because you're in full screen mode. You can go that down to 1050. And now you're sitting at around 50 frames per second. And it still looks really good. So, again, you'll probably be around 41, 40 in towns, but you'll still have that, that really you're looking to make sure that milliseconds feels good as you're playing it, the responsiveness of it all versus anything else. So, drop that settings, you'll be fine. For me, I can keep it at the native resolution and play comfortably and not really be bothered by it. But to each their own. If you need it to be lower, put it lower. But I like the screen. I like the presentation of what it looks like at the full fat native resolution with adaptive quality or adaptive frame rate, or well, adaptive resolution. That's what it's supposed to be doing. to me, that is the most optimized you're going to be, and it's going to provide you that experience, those visual looks that you will want to see in these older titles. Let me make sure what that looks like for you, show you guys what it looks like at 800p. It's fluctuating a lot, which is surprising, which tells me that, yeah, I can definitely crank the resolution and be okay. But this is where you'll be at the 800p with no adaptive. And as you saw earlier, lowering it even to the other resolution of 1050 had a better experience. But I'm going to keep it at the full fat native, and I'm going to turn back on adaptive quality for the 45 mark, and we're going to call it a day. Those are my optimized settings, but again, you guys can change it to whatever you prefer as to what you think this should run at in these towns and settings in these areas. You're not going to be always in towns, but I get it if you don't want it to feel like that 30 at all. You want it to be higher than that. But because the VRR screen, it's really good to kind of take advantage of the resolution where you can, because the VRR is going to handle all of the pacing or the tearing or something you would normally see if you're fluctuating so much within the rate. But all you're going to be left with is the milliseconds and how it feels while playing it. And if it's too much of a fluctuation for you, I understand changing it. But for me, this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly playable. Turning off the overlay will give you a little bit of that performance back. But that's what I thought was optimal. I think if you went in here, kind of felt the difference, felt like it was a little too too much latency or whatever, you can definitely change it to get a better, different experience. I wouldn't say better, but you can say different perspective. It's all about perspective. So those are the settings for Odyssey. Runs well.